Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another Aviation video. The Skytrax World's Best Airline Awards for 2022 have just come out very recently, and today, as we have in previous years, we'll be taking a look at which airline, and which other airlines as well, are the world's best airline, and have won positions for services that they offer along their flights. So, if we look, we can see that number one is Qatar Airways again. So, well, in my opinion, yes, I totally believe that Qatar Airways are deserving of this, since they are the world's best airline. I've flown with them many times, and they always just offer great flights. So there's big seats, the meals are good, they're very safe. The crew's always good, the service is excellent. If you're delayed and it's due to them, we've had accommodation once, and one time I was very sick, and they also gave free accommodation that time as well. And they're very good value for money there, like the most competitive tickets, and quite often they're the cheapest ticket actually, apart from budget airlines, but they're the cheapest full cost carry-out on tickets into Europe. Then number two, we have Singapore Airlines. I disagree with this. We flew on Singapore Airlines from Perth to Singapore and Singapore to Perth on the A350-900, which is a more regional variant. I've heard it's very good. I've known people who've travelled on long-haul flights and they thought it was good, but for our experience, it wasn't very impressive, to be honest. It was quite poor. The seats were very small in length and width. It was just very cramped, uncomfortable. The service was also not very good. They only had one cart going around. The meal came about 2 hours into the flight when they said it would be after takeoff, so about 30-40 minutes. And yeah, it was just, they kept mixing up orders and things like that, so it wasn't actually the best. Now, number three is Emirates. They have worked their way up the ranking lately. They've always kind of been a good carrier. They are a much older carrier though, compared to some of the other ones, such as Qatar and the likes of that. They used to be very good. They weren't bad, but they slipped down the ranking list a little bit more. Now they're back up. What do I think? Yeah, I think they're a great carrier. The only thing is the prices. Well, especially in pre-COVID times, since no one has been traveling up to now really. They have been much more than Qatar, sometimes like double, 80%. Just for normal dates, so that's the only thing, and these don't take into account value for money. If they did, Qatar would be the winner of that, so they'd be the winner of two categories, so they'd far exceed and outrun the other airlines. Then we have All Nippon Airlines, and we've got a few more. What do I think? All Nippon Airlines, yeah, I'm not too sure about them, but they seem quite good. They have a lot of legroom on all our flights as well, and they have relatively new aircraft, although the 787s are kind of aging, but that's alright, they're not that old yet. Qantas, nope. I live in Australia, I haven't flown Qantas, but I do believe they're terrible. The service is absolutely terrible lately. The cost cutting has been terrible as well. The CEO has been taking massive profits, and they're cost cutting in every single thing. People were delayed. They make them sleep on the airport floor because there was no accommodation left in the city when they had to divert. And they were offered no meals or anything, and they just had terrible service and things like that. And as compensation, they gave all of the members, so the members only, like a higher up tier on the list, something like $10 or $20 off on the next flight. So that's not a distributive measure to the people who are effective. That's going to everyone. So that's not helpful at all. And it's only to members and things like that for the next flight. Japan Airlines, yeah, I reckon they're pretty good as well. Turkish Airlines, yep, they're very good now apparently. Air France, yeah, relatively good. Korea Air, yeah, quite good too. Same as Swiss Airlines. Now if we go down a bit, there's more information. So world's cleanest airline, ANA. I probably agree with. World's best cabin crew, Singapore Airlines. Ooh, I mean, the crew in Singapore were nice, especially the pilots who let me go in the cockpit. We were talking to them for about like 40 minutes after the flight. They were fine with it. They said, yeah, there wasn't much to do, and they had to kind of do their shutdown anyways and wait for other things because the airport was a bit slow. But yeah, I would say the crew's quite nice. They were just disorganised, and I'm not sure. It's only 2 flights I flew on, so I mean that's not everything, but I would consider giving that to maybe Qatar or something. Best airline in Europe. Turkish Airlines, I agree with that. Scoot, best long-haul, low-cost airline, definitely. Scoot are absolutely amazing. I absolutely love Scoot as well. Best airline business class, Qatar. Economy, Emirates. So I'm not too sure about that actually, but yeah. And now if we go on to some of the other categories, we have the world's best airline cabin cleanliness for 2022. So if we take a look, we can see that ANA, Singapore, yeah, I pretty much agree with that list. Hainan are also quite high up, and Asiana as well, and China Airlines. So there's a lot of the airlines more located in Asia actually. Yeah, probably with the COVID response and things like that, they're taking that more into account. Best airline cleanliness. Rwanda. No, I actually believe they are quite good now. Fiji, Hawaiian, Air France. What was it in Australia? Fiji. Not Qantas. Even though Qantas are a much bigger carrier. And Middle East, Qatar. That seems good. So, there have been lots of changes from last year. If we look at airport services, so we're moving on to airports now. Airport services. Okay, this is not the airports itself. It's the services. So, I mean, yeah, I'd say they have quite a nice airport though. I think they have good lounges and stuff like that. So, I'd probably... Where's Qatar? Qatar's 10. Oh, I'd put them up. Qatar Airport is great. They are well coordinated with the airport. Very well coordinated. Except the ground staff, though, for some reason, are incredibly rude. The crew's great. The people at all the hotels and lounges are great. Everyone's great. But the ground staff, though, are just lazy and don't do anything. Singapore Airlines, yeah, you can pretty much tell why they are ranked like this. Did I see Eddie had summer flash in my eyes? No, I did not. Thought I did. Yeah. That seems about right as well. World's most improved airlines. Probably Emirates will be somewhat high up, but they haven't progressed from something like 150 to 90, if you know what I mean. So it's probably talking about that as in nominal figures, not in percentages. So Gulf Air, interesting. Baltic, yes, they've been on the rise. Rex, well, they've just expanded to, and they've acquired 737s to fly in Australia. Funny how they say their heart is in the country, even though they got all the paint and a lot of work on the aircraft done in Asian countries that give cheaper services. So quite a lot of people are unhappy about that. Jet2, Kuwait Airways. Okay, yeah, that seems about right. I'm quite interested in seeing Gulf Airlines. Now, let's move on to the classes, starting with economy class. So, they've got IFE, that's not really so important. We have Emirates, who's come up on top. Then we've got Qatar, that's correct. They've closely followed. Singapore, I'd probably rank Singapore down a bit more. And Qantas as well. The rest seem fairly... British Airways, I'm not too sure. They've kind of been making a return now. They've been quite lazy and relying on that reputation fair bit later. So that's seats. Okay, here we go. This is the most important bit. No, I'd definitely move Qatar up a bit more. Singapore should be a fair bit lower than that. Qatar should be higher. I think JAL was quite good though. They offer quite a lot of legroom on their flights. Catering, Singapore should definitely go down. Delta as well, surprisingly. Then if we look at best economy class, yeah. What? Oh, okay, Asia, yeah. So there's no Middle East category. Oh, there is a Middle East category, okay. Yeah, I'd dispute that probably. And let's look at premium economy now. So, premium economy is offered on a lot less airlines, but Emirates have now got it. So, the thing with premium economy is there's a very wide range of prices. Some are very close to economy, some are very close to business, and some are very much in between. But these do not take into account price. So, obviously the airlines that offer better products, even if the price is much higher and not worth it, they get a better ranking. So let's actually take a look at Virgin Atlantic quickly and how the thing looks like. So if we look at Virgin Atlantic Premium Economy, I do remember being quite good. I'd say New Zealand actually is the best because they have very nice. That looks fairly nice, but it's not too much special compared to other things. This is only on one aircraft now. If we look at the New Zealand 777, if you haven't seen this before, you're going to be amazed. 777 Premium Economy. The configuration is, here it is. Oh, discontinue. Oh, what a shame. So this is a premium economy seat, and it was in a 1-2-1 configuration before. That's right, 1-2-1. That's like business first class configuration. It was very good. And then there's kind of the normal one as well. I might read that later actually, it seems interesting. And if we also look at Singapore Airlines premium economy right now, you can see there's a fairly nice. I think this is quite good, but I'm not sure because Emirates have released this. Probably because it's quite new that the Emirates one hasn't performed too well. It hasn't been one for the whole year, but here's the Emirates one. So I mean, the seats it's 242 compared to 232, isn't it? Yeah, that probably. Oh no, it's 242 as well. Yeah. So I mean, they both look very similar. So. Yeah, not too many airlines do them, so you can't really dispute that too much. Premium economy seats, Emirates. Yep, I'd definitely give it to Emirates. There we go. So it's probably just services and things like that, because I think some airlines give you lounge access and things like that as well. Catering. Yeah, because it's premium economy, it's a much smaller area, and I think Qantas, of course, with the high tickets, are giving premium economy flyers a much better experience in meal, especially. And then you you've just got all the categories. So business class, and then we'll move on to first class, and we may take a look at a few more interesting things. Qatar is on top. Yes, absolutely, with their Q suite. Singapore Airlines, I don't think they belong there actually. They have a lot of different things for the different planes, but I wouldn't put them on top of there because some of these, they're quite open pods, you know, like there's a lot of space in the front, but if you were to look at the back seats, there's not that much, there's still room, but like you can see what I mean here, it's not really, whereas something with the Qatar Q suite, you can obviously see that the seats are much better. You can have a 4, you can have a 2, all things like that, and it's just much nicer and better overall. Then we've also got Emirates, yeah, Etihad. I'm not too sure if they're doing the cost-cutting thing, so they might not really be appropriate to go up there, but let's just Google them quickly anyways. They also offer a large, different amount. Yeah, that's quite nice, except it's very open. It's extremely open. But something like that, I believe, is on the A380, and that's quite nice, actually. But it's something like that. It's hard to think. Let me know what you think below in the comments. It's a lounge. And then that's the A330. You see what I mean? It's a bit... And then New Zealand got quite up the... Oh, okay, here we go. A few more categories. Alright, see, Qatar. Yep. Delta. Okay. Let's look at Delta, actually. Very quickly. Delta. Yeah, they do have quite a nice business class seat. I think they've redone this as well now. That would be the A320 or whatever business class on very short haul narrow body jets, or even a 757 potentially. Business class lounges, Virgin Atlantic at London Heathrow. Qatar Airways definitely what's it called? I think it's the Al Sayed Lounge, or it's the Al Mar, whatever, however you pronounce that. That's a good one, I'm pretty sure. But they've got about 6 different lounges. Some that you could pay for, some business class only, some are a mixture of the two. I don't know why they have so many, to be honest, but you'd think people just want to go to one. Catering, yep. Lounge catering, Qatar, obviously. You just got the categories there. And now we're going to move on to first class. So Singapore or Qantas? I remember, before we take a look at the results, let's take a look at Qantas first class. Qantas first class. Because it used to have like a 1-1-1 configuration, if I recall. It's like a full suite. Okay, yeah. But I remember in some of the like A380 products, it used to be very... But it had like pods on the side. It was very enclosed. But the Etihad residents, we need to take that into account. So Etihad are nowhere to be seen in this list. And Singapore have actually come on top. And Qatar's far behind. Oh yeah, I don't like Qatar's first class product. I honestly believe that the... Yeah, here, because you get a bed and a seat and everything. It's very nice indeed. I honestly believe that the Qatar business class is better than the first class. And they said they're going to redo it. Because look at that. Would you rather be in like that? Or would you rather be in... Let's find the Q suite if it's here. Here, there we go. A380 next month. So that might be... What is this? Is this an old article or is this a new first class? That's very old, okay. We try to find that Q suite product very quickly. You also get a lounge, but like... Whereas on Emirates you get a share and things like that. The seats are much, as you can see here, Qatar, Emirates, Etihad. So I mean, that's just showing the plain seat though itself. And here you've got the pods. See, that's what I was like kind of talking about, these pod things. Whereas with Qatar it's very open. That's when they used to do first class on the 777, I believe. Unless that's business, but they've phased that out. That's very old. As you can see, there's like very old things here as well. Oh wow, geez, look at that. But then, as you can see here with the Q suite, here we go. There's the Q suite, which looks much more superior than that in my eyes. So it keeps going down. Lounges, yeah, I'm quite surprised at that. Zurich one. Seats, Singapore Airlines. Qatar, yeah, because Qatar do have a very poor seat for their first class. So it'll be an appropriate ranking. Then, best first class on board catering. Yeah, Qatar is not on that list as well. Lounge catering, Qatar's on the list, of course they should be. And now if we take a look at, where's other categories now? If we look at, here we go. So we have, what's one category you should go on? Let's do, we've done most of those. Best low cost airlines, let's take a look at those. And then best, so Air Asia. Air Asia are very cheap, but they're very bad. They are very unsafe, especially in recent years. They've been very unsafe with the multiple crashes. They may have improved now. Air Asia X, I believe, is quite better. They haven't had, I think they've had some crashes. The most recent incident I can remember is, from my hometown of Perth. There was a flight going to Kuala Lumpur and the engine failed, and they had to return, and the pilot told everyone to pray for the safe return and was evoking and encouraging fear when it really wasn't necessary. So they're one of the airlines that wouldn't fly, but even Air Koryo probably wouldn't fly, but Air Koryo are just different, so maybe even then instead of them. Scoot, Southwest, Ryanair, yep. EasyJet's up there. Where's Fly Dubai? Fly Dubai not up here. There it is, okay, there. And Canada Rouge. Okay, that seems quite good. Jetstar, yeah. Canada Level, AirAsia X, Flybe, all those kind of new ones. Best low-cost airlines in Africa. And then we got that. In Europe. Let's see if we have anything about seats or anything. No, we do not. And then CityLink, yeah, they are quite good. They are, yeah. See, they've been above Air Asia, so I would say that's because they're owned by Garuda, so, and they're relatively new as well. So they've kind of been structured after Garuda had all the issues solved with safety and things like that. So they've been drastically improved, and they're just much better. And they haven't had to be restructured and still that kind of old remnant still of the unsafeness. But here we can see we have a full list. So you can see the Emirates, I think in 2020 they were about 9, and they've progressed up. Turkish especially progressed up too. We can just see the whole list. BA stayed the same. 9 have went back. CAF drastically went back, and Ever Air as well. And we got a few kind of ones like Gulf Air, most improved. We have to take a look at them after. Air Asia have went up as well, but Scoot have went up. That's considering like all airlines, so this is probably counting value for money, since obviously Air New Zealand is better than Scoot by the seat product that you get. Air New Zealand have slipped back a bit. That's quite surprising actually. And then Ryanair, like Virgin Australia is obviously better than Ryanair. But they've had their takeover since Bain Capital, so they've only put the 737s. They've got rid of all of the aircraft and doing a more cost-cutting kind of in the middle of budget and full cost carrier, cheaper services. Yes, if you're thinking about that, Bain Capital is the company that was started by Mitt Romney. And then LOT's quite far back. Kuwait Airlines is quite back. Fly Dubai is quite far back. CityLink is quite far back. Just saying ones that kind of stand out. Yeah, and that's basically it. Let's quickly take a look through 2018 and just see the differences here. So you can see Singapore's back on top. I remember when I flew with Qatar Airways, I wanted to do a review of the world's best airline, and it was Singapore was the best. And then when I flew Singapore, it was Qatar that was the world's best airline. So, and of course, I didn't clickbait, even though many people told me I should. So I could not put world's best airline in my title. But we can see ANA's up here, Emirates, Ever Air, Cathay, Lufthansa, Garuda, Thai, Hawaiian, things like that. Air New Zealand, Turkish was far back here. Virgin Australia's got out, even Aeroflot was here. And you can just see the whole list of things. Scoot was at 61. LOT was there. American Eagle was even there. Kenya Airlines. And we just got all the airlines like that. And now if we look at Gulf Air very quickly, here we can just see the products if we do Gulf Air Economy. I've heard that they're very good value for money. They've got a good business class and things like that. Here is the Gulf Air cabin, which, well, looks quite bland, but that's alright. I think there's these Persian Gulf Airlines, that must not be Gulf itself then. There's kind of, you can see it looks a little bit worse than that. Then you've got like seats like those. And if we search business for Gulf Air, we can see that there is drastic improvement. That looks very nice indeed. And then if we search first class, which they'll probably have it. They're a Middle East airline, they should have it. Gulf Air first, we get shoes that are very ugly. Okay, well, anyways, that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. We would appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment, share if you haven't already, though, of course, you don't have to. Yeah, so that's the world's best airline for this year. Yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, have a fantastic day, and I really do hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.